Shalom, people. Giving all praise to the Most High, Yah, and His only begotten Son, Yeshua Mashiach. And man, I tell you, man, these offenses just be crazy, man. I just can't believe it, man. Like, a couple months ago, you had these guys that were, I guess, sort of teaming up or just calling out this one man that's the leader of a certain church, and they were all kind of in one accord when it came to his sin that he was under, right? So there was that, right? So shortly after that, these three guys, content creators, whatever you want to call them, right? They end up, they had one incident with one of the three. Two guys were upset at one of the brother, and they had cut him off due to some type of setup that he had put them through, and they didn't like the dishonesty that he came with. And the funny thing is that same brother that got cut off said that these two would be beefing soon. And then the funny thing is that that came to pass. Now these two are beefing. And so, it's crazy. And now it seems like the leader of the church is right. It seems like the first one that got cut off is right. And then, these offenses can just pile up, man. It's crazy, man. It's really teaching me a lesson about like long suffering. It's crazy because no matter what, and what's so funny, it happens everywhere. It happens every single where, and you can't allow these things to really be at the forefront of your life. Because then what it creates a war zone energy. It creates a war zone energy where you can't move forward. Why? Because you're in battle. We're in the midst of battle in a war. It's a struggle. It's not like a easy thing to move, right? Like when there's a clash between two rivaling opponents. Nothing barely gets moved. I mean, one may have the upper hand, and be in the right, or have the right strategy, however you want to put it, and they may be gaining the advantage slowly, but there's not a lot of movement going there. And so in these cases where these beefs happen, you're in a position, especially if you're hearing it. What gets into your spirit is that your spirit gets in a state of wrestling, if you know what I mean. Like you're in this battle form, or in this state of battle mode, and it doesn't get moved anywhere much. So then you gotta, after the debacle happen, or after the scuffle happens, you kind of have to wait and kind of let things kind of cool down a bit. To see that who was really the victor in this scuffle, right? And then usually what happens is that based on the next opponent that they face, you usually see who's actually more the well-developed, put-together individual, the well-developed, put-together team, right? If I can use an analogy here, if you got two championship teams in the season going up against each other, it was a real struggle, right? It's like, damn, let's just say one of the teams won by a point. It's like, whoa, we don't really know who's better. It's really tough to see who is better. Like, we gotta really see who they face more, in the upcoming games. And let's just say the next teams that they face are like trash teams, and one of them obliterates the team that they face, and the other one was like kind of like a mediocre win, or maybe they had to struggle to get that win. then it usually looks like the one that killed the other team is more well put together. They handle business a lot more better, and they're well prepared, right? So, man, it's just crazy, man. It's just crazy because no matter what happens, these offenses just keep going on and on and on and on. And you know what? And you're not safe anywhere, man. You're not safe anywhere. You're not safe. And it really fulfills the verse. It really fulfills the verse of 1 Peter 5:8, right? Be sober, be vigilant, because the devil is seeking around as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And you know what? You're not safe anywhere. And it's like I was hoping for better with those guys, but the thing is, you can't control that. And sometimes if you're gonna want to really get things moving forward, you gotta take a lot of long suffering. A lot of long suffering. You gotta go through a lot of long suffering, a whole bunch. A lot of forgiveness has to be given. Lots of it, lots of it, lots of it. Just so things don't get put on the forefront, because you can't have certain things going before you for people to know, because then it pulls a whole stop to your plans, and then people they see, oh well, they see this type of image on you now, and that could be really hard to pull through, to really move forward with, right? And so I can see the reason why some places or ministries would respond to certain things, because like I'm trying to get things moving forward here, but then you got so many people just coming out and they're not really doing anything themselves, they're not really doing anything themselves. But I mean, it's tough, man. That's a tough one. But a whole lot of long suffering and a whole lot of forgiveness. And it doesn't matter your marriage, your relationship at work, your relationship with your church group, any relationship in the flesh, your mom and dad, your elders, deacons. You're not safe anywhere. You're not safe anywhere. You know what? You're not safe anywhere. And I think it's you always gotta be, like the scripture says, vigilant and sober. You always have to be. And knowing when to war. There's a time to war and there's a time of peace, right? Knowing when to do it and when not to do it. And usually you'd want to have peace in the forefront and have war in the background. That's what you would want to do. Not everyone has to see every battle, every war. Some battles need to be seen in the forefront. Depending on what it is. I mean, I trust the brothers, that know that are in the faith. Like, you can't trust all of them, but I trust that they will utilize the wisdom of the scriptures to know when to battle. Because you don't want to put your family in the midst of some of these situations. But yeah, I think that's what it is, knowing when to war. And because and another thing too, right? That's why that Matthew 18 is so important. And it requires a lot of long suffering. That Matthew 18 requires a lot of long suffering. Going to your brother alone, and then you're trying to solve things out, and sometimes it's not getting resolved, and you're thinking about you and your family, or just trying to move forward with yourself, with your vision. Doesn't matter what it is. I mean, everyone has things important to them, and then something that doesn't get moved anywhere, then you gotta bring in a second witness, and then you don't want her to go to social media, but you would hope that, okay, let's just resolve this somehow, let's just get this resolved. And it's tough and it's not easy. You do your best to do it, at least do with the intention. I did everything I could, following the scriptures, following the way of Christ, to gain my brother or sister, parent, deacon, doesn't matter who it is. You do your best to gain them, and then if that doesn't work, you just let the chips fall where they may. Hallelujah. But you know what, though, it's good to know this truth. It's good to understand this, and so there's some things we just can't avoid. We can't avoid offenses. we can't avoid stumbling blocks on our path, right? And we can't avoid long suffering and forgiveness. We can't avoid it. We need to go, and those are really difficult things to deal with at times. So, but you know what? Again, I believe that, even though those offenses did happen, those brothers are heading towards a good direction overall, and with a good direction. And so you want to take the positive out of this, right? You always want to stay in the fruit of the spirit, right? Galatians 5:22. So there's a lot of joy that we can really still hold to in the midst of all this. So that's all I got today, and I pray this blesses you all. And prepare yourself for long suffering, forgiveness. Prepare yourself for it. You're gonna need a lot of it in this walk, a whole lot of it. If this bless you, like it. You can make a comment on it, subscribe, share, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.